And Wilson says the same stuff. Like, no, we're too creatively trained now to even think about the next one.
Yeah, like
Yeah. You know, but isn't that
so.
kind of your job?
I'm here with Dutch Bond fan once again, and the dust has settled. We No Time to Die has come out, and now we're looking ahead to the future of the 007 series, and we're going to talk about what we can expect to see. What do you think?
Yeah, we've done 6 of these episodes now, and I think in general, even if we want to be optimistic, the general tone has been pretty pessimistic. I can't say I'm that optimistic about what's coming after Craig either. I've voiced my thoughts about what I'm hoping to see after Craig multiple times in several videos, but I'm assuming they won't take the road I'm hoping for, and um, it's gonna look a lot grayer. I'm not even sure if who knows? Maybe because the streaming services have bought the rights as well. Who knows? Maybe future Bond movies won't even be cinematic anymore. Like they'll just go straight to streaming. How do you feel about that?
No, I think they're gonna stick to cinemas. Barbara has
I
made a
hope
point of
so.
saying they want to keep it a cinematic experience. So I think like all the streaming fear is for nothing.
Yeah, I don't mind if they go to stream, just as long as they go to cinema first, kind
Yeah,
of.
I mean maybe like they would do like a dual release possibly, but
Yeah.
I think
At least then people will have the choice.
yeah, Babs and Mike, I think and Ian, like I think they're pretty old school in their line of thinking with like having Bond being seen on
Yeah.
cinema screens, on big cinema screens. I don't think they're gonna go away from that, no matter who owns or who they're
Yeah.
partnered with.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Barbara still has like the voice of Copy in her head saying like, don't blow it. You got this amazing thing. It has to be on the big screen. So I hope she listens to that part of her intuition, like what Copy would have done,
and
because definitely Copy wouldn't have gone to streaming.
and these ideas of spin-off shows that's gonna pop up on Amazon and all this stuff now, no, no, I
Yeah.
don't think we're seeing any of that stuff. It's it's not gonna we're not gonna see Q the TV series like that
Yeah.
silly video that I did at one time. We're not gonna see
No,
any of
no,
that
I
stuff.
agree. Speaking of in your ideal world, like we've had 5 Craig movies. Supposedly, we've already seen No Time to Die. What would your ideal direction be to take next? Like, do you have a certain actor in mind, a certain tone you want to go with? What would your ideal idea be of them? What should they do?
The actor, I have no idea. I'm kind of out of the loop with like all these young actors.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know
Fair
who
enough.
they're eyeballing. I know like you keep saying like Tom Hardy, but he just seems like he's too old. He's too established to like
Yeah,
fit into playing James Bond. I figured like they'll have like they'll cast an actor who's might be recognizable, but it's not hugely famous. Sort
are
of like
you a fan of Henry Cavill in any way, or would you
uh,
would you like to see him?
the thing I liked him in Man from Uncle. I thought he
Yeah,
was cool.
I
Um,
agree.
I liked
really
him much.
Bondian role in that
Yeah,
movie.
I liked him much more in that than in the Superman. But the thing to me, like what gets me about like some like with Cavill, like say, is like he's already played like an iconic role,
Right.
and it seems like that should be limited to one apiece for every actor. You don't need
Yeah.
to like pull them into another famous character. In sort of like the same way with Tom Hardy, because I thought I loved Fury Road. I don't know, like, what are they ever going to do a sequel to this? And like to me, like, okay, he's the new Mad Max. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
We don't need to see him at Spawn now. Like,
No, that's fair. I think Cavill has been pretty vocal about wanting to role. He was in the race for the role back
yeah,
before Superman too. When Greg got it, I think he was second to the role, if I'm not
he
mistaken.
was really young when he auditioned.
Yeah, he got close
Like,
though. I can see him do it. If I wasn't too convinced before, but like you said, Man from Uncle, but also Mission Impossible Fallout, where he played
oh yeah,
a bad guy. But seeing him do the physical stuff, like the fight with in the bathroom scene together with Cruz, he has this weird moment where he's kind of like it's like he's charging his biceps almost. But it is a pretty cool, like he's reloading, but it's a pretty cool moment. I can see him kick ass and be a good Bond. With Hardy though, and again I've touched upon this in multiple podcasts and other videos. This is not the first time saying it, but with Hardy, I would only really enjoy it if he's brought on with Nolan.
right.
Like I know we're going into
So
territory that will never happen, but I know Nolan is a Bond fan, so to me that's like the ultimate that will never happen. But I would go into period piece and do a trilogy that is thought out and planned, and just do three movies, and have some elements of Fleming in there, and go with it, and have it like the Dark Knight trilogy, have it be planned out and kick ass.
but like,
Have Hans Zimmer aboard.
what are the odds that would ever happen?
Slim,
Yeah,
slim. Second, yeah, really, really low. I can see it though. That would sell. I've said it before in multiple videos. Like, I think lots of casual audiences who kind of gave up on Bond, like, or don't really have any connection to it, they would see if it says Nolan 007 on a poster, and Tom Hardy from the back or whatever in like a grim, gritty type of Dark Knight sort of place. They would go see that. Michael Caine as M or something. You could see the whole Nolan cast. Like, what's the guy from Peaky Blinders again? Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy.
oh,
I could see him as a villain. He's like the Le Chiffre type. I could totally see like a Nolan cast in a period piece thing. And I think because I've always been like most Bond fans, like you should never go back to the past. It should always be in the present. But I think because today it's gotten so sensitive politically, I think that's why a period piece could be so good to reinvent yourself, to go back to Bond being more of the guy he is. You could kind of skew it off to, well, it's taking place in the 60s. Women were more like that, just like in what they did with the Man from Uncle. So I think there's a lot of advantages to doing it that way. But like I said, I would never in a million years see this happen. I just think that's my ideal direction to do next.
the idea of putting it in the past would be like almost like they'd be using it as a safety net or an excuse to be able
Maybe,
to
yeah.
show 007 hit the girl on the bottom and man
Yeah.
talk. If say like Barbara saying, okay, we're going to do a period, a James Bond film set in 1965, it's going to be much different and much more. The political correctness will come in. Just because it's set in 65, she's going to not film it as they would in 1965 with the same attitude. And
That's fair. That is, I don't, it's not like then you are allowed to slap women around
yeah,
and all
she
that stuff.
she she wouldn't allow that
It would still be a movie
matter what.
filmed today, set in that time. But I'm just saying more subtle things like people smoking, or more of a film noir era, like using the you're not using electrical cars, you're not going into any of the sensitive politics going on today, because they always want to go look at what's the big problem today. Well, the big problem today is COVID. I don't think you want to base a movie around that sort of stuff, because it gets it's so sensitive, so political. So I think it could sell if you go back to the Cold War. That stuff is over, but it could still be exciting to.
The biggest benefit I would see of them setting a story in the past would be the technological limitations with the character, like what he's dealing with, because now they've reeled back on a lot of the gadgets, because we all, practically everybody has this stuff now.
Yeah, but still, you could still film it in a very modern way. If you look at, because we have talked about the new Mission Impossible movie coming out, but also there's a new Kingsman movie coming out this year, and they're taking it place in the early 20th century, like around World War One, filmed today. Like they make jokes about like, this is called a parachute, that's something new. And they've made it exciting, like it's a prequel to how the Kingsman agency was founded, and it could still be very exciting. Yeah, it's coming. It's
Colin
called.
Firth's in it.
No, because it's taking place in like 1917, so his character wouldn't be born. But it's like the founders of Kingsman establishing the agency, and it all looks exciting. Like even though it's based in the past, it still looks modern. The clothing and all is classic, and everything going on in the world. That's why I think like if you have a gimmick, it shouldn't even be a gimmick. But if you have something like that, the Neil Bond movie, it's taking place in the '60s already. You'd be curious, like what are they doing this time? So I think that could spark a lot of audiences that are sleeping on Bond as well to go see it. So to me, it has a lot more advantages. But like I said, I don't see this happen at all. I'm afraid they're going with the other rumors, the Lashana route, like maybe 007 is killed and they're going to continue with her. I don't know what to expect next. But with her, they're actually saying like it's not just going to be a spin-off, it's going to be the future of the Bond series. Like she's going to continue as 007. But to me, it's like, well, even if they do that, that won't be James Bond movies anymore. It'll be Nomi 007 movies.
I'm skeptical that they would ever even do it.
I don't think it would sell.
I mean, it all depends like on how she's embraced too. I remember like they were talking about the spin-off movie of Jinx before the movie even came out. Because everybody loves Halle Berry, everybody loves her.
Yeah.
And I think the money was just too much that they were willing to risk spending on that thing.
I know even Lee Tamahori was going to direct it as well.
Oh, they're even better. Again, bringing in the A-list.
Yeah. It's like if you think about the people who are excited about a black female lead character who will be 007, that wouldn't be the Bond fans. That would be like the ones on that kind of side of the fence, like who want that type of statement. But even those people, I don't think would buy a ticket every year to go and see a 007 movie just because Lashana Lynch plays.
I would think like maybe it would be just like a one-off. It wouldn't be like a continuing series with Nomi as 007. I
can't imagine it would be a box office hit. I know I sound pessimistic saying that, but it's just that's not what the Bond fans want.
Or would it be to like fill in the gap between the real Bond movies? We're gonna have like the alternate Nomi 007 movies to fill it in.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I know with like the Star Wars movies, I'm not a big Star Wars buff, but I know within that universe it works to have spin-offs. I don't think in Bond we need that. I don't need to see a Moneypenny or a Felix Leiter movie. It's because it's not big enough we just want to see Bond. So it's
Star Wars is like an ensemble like movie.
Yeah.
You have all these other characters. With
Right,
James Bond,
universes and different galaxies
I
and
mean,
stuff going on.
could you imagine like back in the day, like watching like a Lois Maxwell Moneypenny movie?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, she got 10 minutes of screen time, and that
yeah.
will be her
I mean,
moment.
I don't understand. Like, like sometimes a supporting character is just fine doing support. Like, just come in for your little like 5-10 minute scene and
Right.
be done. We don't need like a whole like background on like what's she gonna do when she goes home, or is she going on the date? I hope it goes well. Like, who gives it? Who gives
Yeah.
He's trying to pick up like nuclear missiles off like the bad guy. Like, I'm more interested in
Exactly.
seeing that part. Are you really that concerned with Nomi having the 007 going forward? Like she's.
Well, I'm hoping it's, because we've seen this before with Jinx.
Mhm.
I'm hoping these rumors go away, but it depends on when we've truly seen No Time to Die and how it ends. Like if they do kill Bond off, or if Nomi is left off as 007, they could do two things. They're gonna end it there, reboot, and go again with a new Bond character next movie, or they are going into that direction, which I think will fail. Regardless, I think the next step should be reboot. However it ends, I think the next step should be another reboot anyway. It doesn't need to be a Casino Royale reboot where he gets his 00 status and start from fresh again. But like the Living Daylights, you should start fresh.
That's what I
It's the
think
only
is
way
going
to
to happen.
go.
I
Yeah.
don't think any of this Nomi fear is warranted. I mean, I think she's going to be one and done. This character, we're going to see her in No Time to Die. Boom, that's it. We're never going to see her
I
again.
hope so, because I can't imagine Lashana Lynch be so motivated to keep doing the 007 series, looking at the backlash she got, which as a person I don't think she deserves, but I think a lot of the concerns from the Bond fans is pretty rightful. That they're touching something like
Yeah,
it's not something small, the 007 number. So
like they keep on trying to remind people. She's 007, not James Bond. They're going to need to cast a James Bond for like the next series of movies.
right,
She's this 007. Maybe it'll be better than like what we're thinking. I don't know. But she's gonna be 007 in this movie. I think she's gonna she it's gonna end with her continuing to be 007 in as Craig like walks off into the sunset again. She'll
yeah,
be, oh, don't worry, the world is secure. We still have like our 007. Yeah, applaud if you want, and then it'll fade out, and that's the end of her. Then it's going to be a brand new actor, and I think you're dead on. It's going to be similar to what they did with Dalton. We're not going to see him training or going for his 007 status or anything like that. We're going to just drop in on this new James Bond in the middle of a mission. He's going to be established already as the character, and they're going to just proceed with the new series. Maybe they'll set up continuity to plant seeds to build up to a Blofeld reveal, like they should have done,
yeah.
without wasting his return in Spectre, I think. But yeah, I don't think Nomi's not gonna. She's not gonna be a part of this franchise after
Yeah.
this. It's gonna be
See,
one and
we've
done, and
talked
that's it.
about this before, and then supposedly there were other rumors like Daniel Craig would return as James Bond, but in a supporting, like Q type of uncle role, like a tanner that's retired and well, not retired, but still working in MI6, but retired as a field agent,
Right.
giving her advice.
That changes the whole series. It's no longer the
Yeah,
James Bond series. It's just going to
yeah,
be the 007 series.
yeah. And James Bond's just going to be good luck, 007. That would ruin everything, if you ask me.
Why wouldn't you want to see Craig
In
in
a Q role.
Bond 27 be an administrative assistant in MI6? Why wouldn't you want to see that? That
Yeah.
doesn't appeal to you?
Who would it appeal to though? That's the thing. Yeah, and it's like you can't even say it nowadays anymore. But who would want to see that? It's crazy.
I mean, I did
The
hear like there was a thing about like there was rumors. It's all rumors. You know? It's all rumors. But that Craig was going to stay on associated with the films and be like some kind of like a producer or creative consultant on the next batch
Yeah,
of films.
that's weird to think, but at least if that happens, it's behind the scenes, and it's not. It doesn't affect. It's so different to seeing him as an uncle returning like Q. So I would prefer if he stays on, let him help Barbara and Mike produce this. And it would be weird because none of the other actors would ever stick around like in a
If
position like that. But then again, he always had more of a producing role than all the other actors before him had.
for his films, like if I was the new Bond, if I got cast as Bond for like Bond 26 and everything, and I see the big guy Daniel Craig walking onto set and like giving notes and everything, I'd be like, yours is done. Let me do my thing. Like it would say like
Yeah,
Brosnan stayed on for Casino Royale as like some kind of producing capacity or
yeah,
creative consultant.
giving Craig notes and stuff.
Yeah, like it'd be. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
it's like,
Like,
well, you've had your shot.
yeah, I think like if you want to retire, then retire, leave. That's it.
Yeah, I've never heard about these rumors of him sticking around as a
Yeah,
producing role, but yeah, I
it was.
could see him do it. I know he really loves the character. He does. I do know that, but
It was just yeah, it was some blurb. I don't know how like valid that was, but it was like one little thing that I saw. I don't think they'll kill him off. They can't kill him off.
I hope they don't. No, I don't think anyone's hoping for that. But yeah, but are you optimistic about like I don't even know if they're already planning stuff for Bond 26 and beyond, but are you optimistic about how they can continue with Bond 26
Tell you,
or
I wonder if like they even have thought about it on 26. It seems like they wait till the last minute to like plan some of these movies.
that's how it seemed with these the previous ones. Like, yeah,
I forget what year they got the Blofeld rights back, but immediately the very next movie they immediately used him, and I was like, well, suppose you didn't get Blofeld back, what was Spectre gonna be? What movie were you planning on doing for Spectre? It seemed like it fell into their lap, and then they say, okay, this will be our story.
yeah,
So I don't even know. I'm betting they haven't even. They probably have some ideas, the old idea drawer, stuff and
yeah.
stuff that they might be able to rifle through and like some nuggets of ideas that maybe they're thinking of. But like for the next Bond movie, it's going to be a whole new reset.
They
So like
got it. There's no other way.
I bet like they're more focused on trying to get No Time to Die out. And then once that ends, then they'll start thinking seriously about, okay, we got to get a new actor. Okay, we got to get a
Yeah.
new story. We got to cast a
But isn't
villain.
that, a lot of time wasted if you think about it? Because they
Oh
had
yeah,
this movie in the
oh
back since
yeah.
the end of 2019. You
Because
know,
I forget what where the interview was, and I should send it to you. But I remember them asking, um, I think it was either for Skyfall or Spectre, but the guys asking Michael G. Wilson's is
Are you now having conversations about which direction and tone the future Bonds will take?
We haven't even talked about that. We haven't.
Do you have a script in the works for
No.
another Bond? Do you have an idea?
No.
Do you have a title?
No.
Do you have a Bond?
I think we've
Almost
got,
caught you there.
No, I
Is
think
it
we've
Daniel
got
Craig or is it
Daniel.
not?
Yeah, I mean, we hope to have Daniel.
Well, he said he's never going to do it again.
I know. Well,
I know which one you're talking.
they were on stage.
It's
They
in the
were on a
Skyfall in a
stage.
train. Oh, I'm thinking about one where they're in the Skyfall train, and Wilson says the same stuff. Like, no, we're too creatively trained now to even think about the next one.
Yeah, like
Yeah, But isn't
So-
that kind of your job?
you would think like, how long of a break do they need? I mean,
They had this
This-
movie in the bag since the end of 2019. Surely they started giving thought of what to do
I mean,
next.
did they start reaching at like getting ideas for okay, like well, Martin Campbell, he's directed debuts of Brosnan and Craig. Should we have him back for this new guy? I mean, are they even thinking like in that far ahead?
Yeah.
I bet you not.
No,
Actually
and
not.
I think that's the weakness of Eon, because there have been talks about Bond falling into the public domain, and you could be concerned like, well, then everybody can touch 007. However, I think it could also be good to have, because Eon's kind of fixated a lot on like a tunnel vision of what they should do with Bond nowadays, and they seem to start really late. You know, they've been painting themselves into corners. They like I remember Spectre came out in 2015. Production on even thinking about No Time to Die, I think started like years later after Spectre.
Yeah.
They did nothing in 2016 and 17, I think. So I feel like they should plan the stuff out a lot more. Maybe Babs and Mike are getting a bit long in the tooth. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe fresh ideas in the public domain could actually give a spark into doing something completely different with it.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
we know like Mike is like he's getting up there in age, and I think he
Yeah.
has some medical problems and stuff. Barbara, it seems like she's using her available time to do other projects, other films, and maybe they're just not as hungry as Cubby and Saltzman were. Like, you know, back when they say, "Oh, we got a money maker here. Oh,
Yeah.
let's churn these suckers out. You know, let's get."
But
get
they were
busy with
right
it."
though. They, you know.
Yeah.
So
And in a way, I kind of wish that like Kevin McClory, or like, you know, one of it, he had a nephew or a son or something, and like they still held the rights to like Thunderball, and
oh
they're
my
still
god,
like, you know,
yeah.
threatening to do a remake. So we're
At
gonna
least
get,
that would keep them sharp.
yeah,
To
like then
keep things going. Yeah.
right now, like, yeah, their biggest competition is Mission Impossible.
Which already is a big competitor, but they don't seem too concerned about it at the moment. But it's. I just hope that whatever they do next is like the right choice, so to speak, like the choice that, which isn't even that hard. Like fans just want a fresh start, a man as Bond. I think. I can't speak for all fans, but I think that's pretty much a consensus.
Well, Barbara
And
said, she said James Bond will
yeah,
always be a man.
yeah. So that's what we
What
want.
kind of man?
Another,
I don't know. Maybe, you know.
people have different thoughts on it. I think there's nothing wrong with keeping him Caucasian and British, but you know, I won't go there this time. But but at least keep him a man. Do a fresh start and do the right thing. Don't make him the uncle or any of that nonsense of the rumors. Just and bring him back to the top again. Maybe do something different. Maybe do a period piece, or maybe come up with something that excites people in the right way. Don't make it too political, I feel.
I do think like they will be more conscious of trying to link a continuity together over a series of films.
Yeah.
For the next run, because they came in late on that with the.
If they do it again,
Right.
at least plan out.
They're gonna say, okay, let's plant a seed. We don't know where the seed might grow, but at least it's there. At the very least, they'll be doing some stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like they can revisit it and it'll logically connect, you know, 3 films down the line.
Yeah, but imagine if they do the next press conference like late 2022 or something, and they come out immediately saying like, okay, the next 3 Bond movies, Bond 26, 27, and 8, they're gonna be a trilogy, and it's gonna be one story from back to back, and that's what we're doing. You could be like, all right, well then we know what to expect. We know that it's gonna be connected. We know that they've thought about this. Let's go. You know, that would be some, and then we can see what comes after the trilogy later. But at least they've got something, you know, that in itself could be cool to maybe try.
Yeah, they do like, it seems like, you know, film by film.
Yeah.
And if they want to do this continuity stuff, you know, like this Marvel linking story over, you know, over a course of movies, they have to think ahead a bit more. They have to plan a little bit more, or have a bit of a more of a roadmap of where they want to go.
Yeah.
And try to make it on the fly as they're writing the next one.
Well, they've always had, but the problem was there was no problem there because they were always standalone. So then it wasn't too hard. The only thing continuity wise, like, oh, we can bring Jack Wade back, CIA character, or oh, Felix could return, and stuff like that. But that's very easy creatively. But now, yeah, if you're gonna do the continuity again, plan it out.
Would you be okay with, like, oh, they're gonna say, okay, here's our new Bond actor. We're just gonna do standalone movies. They're not gonna be connected.
Sure. I mean, I think lots of us Bond fans are hungry for that stuff. We did a lot of continuity in the past since 2006 now, so we're ready for just adventures of 007. Here's your mission, go there, and there's this bad guy. At the end of the movie, he's on a waterbed in the South China Sea.
Yeah.
And that's it. We'd be ready for that, but I feel because continuity is such a big thing, like you mentioned with the Marvel movies and the big connected universes and everything, they want to try that again. But if they do, plan it out.
That's the thing. I don't know if, like, audiences, like, they'll expect well, what happened to the Bond girl he was with in the last movie?
Yeah,
like it's like you need answers to every little question and links and.
Yeah, nobody ever asked, like, what happened to Christmas Jones?
Yeah, no, we just knew, like, yeah, she was good for that movie. Now we move on to a new one.
Yeah,
I think the concept of standalone movies is kind of disappeared.
Yeah, and it's a lot of stuff that made the Bond movies can't be done anymore. I can't really see Bond sleeping with a girl at the end of the movies anymore. Like that was a tradition for the first 20, where you had, like, Bond would be in a bed or mostly in the water, and happy ending. He would have sex, at the end. I don't think it will ever end like that anymore.
Has
At least
Craig
not in the climate we're on today.
Craig never ended with his movie in the bed.
No.
Spectre, he drives off.
He is with the girl, but he drives off.
Yeah. They're probably just, they're not going to do sex or anything. They're just going to go,
No.
Yeah, they're going to go home and play Scrabble or something, something innocent.
Yeah. Kind of a shame, I feel. Like, what's wrong with ending the Bond movies like that? Maybe we're old-fashioned, but I don't think that's another thing we won't see return too much.
Like, I know, like, yeah, you would end every Bond movie if you were in charge. Probably Bond swinging from the chandeliers with a bunch of chicks, like, around him, right?
Yeah, but it's not like it's something new. It is, maybe I'm just so conservative about the series, but it's like that's what we did. That's part of it. Yeah. It's a big part of what made the Bond movies Bond, at least for the first 20. I mean, from 62 to 2002, that was what you could expect in every ending.
Do you think he's gonna, No Time to Die, is he gonna end with a being in bed with a girl?
No. I hope he's still standing on 2 feet by the end. Yeah. He certainly won't be with Lashana, and no. Maybe with Madeline, maybe he's marrying in the end. That's another possibility.
That's the one thing I'm very curious to see in No Time to Die, because it seemed like Craig already got the extreme endings, 2 of the extreme endings of returning to the office in Skyfall. Spectre, he drives off with the girl into the sunset. What else? What other ending? I want to see how they're going to end this. That doesn't repeat either one of those. Like, if they can.
Yeah.
And the only other way I could think is, like, if they kill him off, and which I don't really want to see. That's
my concern as well. Or another ending we haven't seen is, like, Bond getting married.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? It ends up with a wedding?
That's another, if I'm thinking, like, what could you end it on? Like, that's another thing. But then,
it didn't work
you
for Indiana
want to go
Jones.
to Majesty's route, and you want to see Madeline get killed in the next one, and then you still paint yourself.
But we know this is done. This story's wrapped up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm concerned it is the kill thing or something, or Bond truly giving the mantle away to accepting Lashana is indeed a capable agent that he's seen during the adventure, that she is the woman for the job, and that 007 is in safe hands with her, and he just retires in the uncle role. That will be, to me, that won't be a satisfying
Like,
ending.
yeah, like I could see, like he walks out of the office and says, "Oh, she's in good hands. You're in good hands, M. 007." He nods at her and then walks out the door, and then like Lashana's there, handed the new mission, and it fades out.
Yeah.
Oy.
The only people applauding are the people that, that won't get you the same reaction as Skyfall. Like, yeah, Bond's back. That will, like, feminists and stuff, they'll be like, yeah, we've got the toy now from the boys, but who would be happy with that, honestly? It's like,
So you wouldn't applaud that ending?
no, I probably would have walked away. There is this non-politically correct guy. He saves the world, and you can escape from We've got COVID in the real world. We've got so much problems. Just let us escape from it in Bond.
Just for 2 hours.
Yeah,